Hello, welcome to Colonel O'Truth's Miniature Issues. In this video, I'll be showing you how I built a little wooden bridge from some matchsticks and balsa wood. If you're familiar with Undercrag City, you'll know that these are the caves. They have subterranean streets and a river, and I've decided I need a bridge now. As I can't get my ruler into the model without damaging things, I've got a piece of basswood here, which I've marked my dimensions out on, and I'm using it as a guide. I thought I'd start the structure by constructing two identical wooden beams to lie across the full width of the river. I began by splitting these from a single flat piece of basswood. And then by roughing up the edges. I didn't want them to look new. They're supposed to look old and worn, like everything in Undercrag City. Laying them across the river, I get an idea of scale. Already, they're looking too big to me, and as you'll see shortly, I changed them. The next step was to cut strips of balsa wood as the planks to form the surface of the bridge. These are 2 mm wide, which is a general guideline I follow for most of my timbering. Now here's something you won't see very often. Me planning things on paper. Most of the time I allow myself to be open to my imagination and just throw things together. But this is a little bit more technical and needs to be done right. Quick cross-section of the river. So here we are. I decided that the big beams were too big and everything could be done with matchsticks. I found 2 nice straight ones, and these replace the larger beams from earlier. First thing to do is put the legs on. I tried to stick to a personal rule. Smaller is better. If in doubt, always go for your smaller option. It'll look neater. And now some cross bracing. I cut a number of pieces of matchsticks to the same lengths, and then cut the ends at roughly 45-degree angles. A quick blob of PVA, and work them into place with my faithful pointy stick. Once the 2 halves are dry, I'm going to join them together with more beams underneath the main structure. These are all just simple matchsticks, cheap as you like. This channel is all about making models using the simplest, cheapest materials you can. I use recycled cardboard, matchsticks, and bits of general junk that would otherwise find their way into the bin. I'll show you where you need to spend money and where you shouldn't. There's no 3D printing and no expensive materials bought from specialized stores. If you're finding this useful, Please give this video a like and subscribe to the channel. It means a lot to me and it helps me reach a wider audience. So thank you for your support. Now back to the bridge. The main structure is now complete and I've got a pile of balsa wood planks that I'm going to start adding. I'm beginning at the middle of the bridge, simply because I want this to look nice and even. The same number of planks from the middle to the left as there are from the middle to the right. I'm leaving small gaps between them, and I'm not laying them down too perfectly. I do like a bit of wonkiness to some of my fantasy designs. As you can see, they go on very quickly and easily. I'm using a good quality, fast drying builder's PVA glue. And there we go. Didn't take long to dry, and it's surprisingly strong. It's easy to see how you could use this technique for other things. Any timber construction, tables, scaffolding, stairways, you name it. Now I'm trying it out for size against the river. At first I thought I'd have it like this, quite high above the road, and build slopes or steps up to it. Then I changed my mind, as I often do. Undercrag City has come together with a constant process of cutting and reshaping. This is no different. A bit tricky to get my hands in at this point. These caves are getting quite complicated. There's very little I can do here that can't be fixed if I make a mistake. I'm cutting into the clay bank that I shaped much earlier in the project. Keep the rubbish off the river. Keep aligning the bridge, visualizing where it's going to go. And it needs a handrail. Again, these are cut from matchsticks, but I've split them and I'm wearing the edges off to make them a bit more delicate. I could use balsa wood here, but balsa wood is more inclined to get broken. Matchsticks are considerably stronger. Here are some more matchsticks I've split like before, and I'm creating some uprights. Quick blob of glue at the base of each one. Trying to get them nice and square. When they're dry, a blob of glue at the top of each one. And on goes my flat handrail. And the other side. Needs a little bit of straightening up. Whoops. But just try to be patient and remember that pretty much any mistake can be corrected. So here's the finished structure in place. I've shortened the legs so it's sitting closer to ground level. And now I'll build up the bank. Little offcuts of foam board. Bit of glue. By removing the paper from the foam board, I get a stone texture that will match the streets. And now that I'm happy with that bank, I'll check the bridge against it again. And paint it into the rest of the model. And I've added some steps on the other side, also made out of foam board. This block of buildings is going to be added later, so I need to make sure it all fits together. A bit of Das clay, a bit of glue. That's a pretty good fit. Now it's time to paint it. Normally I give my models a light grey undercoat, but these matchsticks absorb ink very nicely, so I'm just going straight on top of them with the dark brown that I use for timbers. I'll make sure everything's well coated. I'm not worried about areas where the glue shows through. While the ink on the bridge is drying, I'm blending in the new addition to the road surface. Now a pale yellow dry brush. Everywhere. Being quite liberal. Now white over the yellow. I'll let that dry and do some more work on these riverbanks. In an earlier episode, I built a temple door down by the river. This statue's been waiting around to be fitted, so now's the time. Just blending its base into place with clay and giving it the same grey paint as everything else. Back to the bridge. I'm going over all my lovely dry brushing with more brown ink. Good quality inks should be semi-translucent and they should be colour fast. This means that as this dries, all of my dry brushing will show through, giving me some beautiful highlights, and over time it won't fade. Now a thin black wash over all of my stonework. Followed by green and yellow inks for mosses. I've shown these techniques a number of times through the Undercrag City project. Please feel free to go back to earlier videos, maybe on the castle walls or the cliff face, and see this in more detail. I'll put some links below. Now I also need to add some more Mod Podge to the surface of the river so that the feet of the bridge look like they're sitting in the water. Dirty streaks are fine. It all just adds to the texture. Blobs of the same Mod Podge on the feet of the bridge, so that as it dries, it all just flows together and looks complete. And how about some little people? Very happy with that. Just have to wait for the Mod Podge to dry. There are LEDs built into every aspect of Undercrag City. If you'd like to know more, I'll put some links below. And there we are. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.